Story 1. Hey man, so a lot of advice here seems pretty bad to me, from the perspective of a mid-30s guy who's lived with his now wife for 15 years. What you are going to have to do is have an awkward and difficult conversation about it and figure it out from there. If you are going to make a relationship work, you're going to have quite a few of these. And do them gently because inevitably you'll be on the receiving end of an awkward and difficult conversation. Relationships take work, and the guys telling you to split over what might literally be a joke is a sign of a lack of experience or maturity. Maybe this is the start of a breakup, but not until you talk and figure out what's going on. Good luck, bro. Story 2. Sit her down. Tell her you heard her say this, and that you felt disrespected. If she lies, manipulates, or makes things up, then this might mark the beginning of the end for me, even though this might be very difficult and painful. If you feel as if you are unable to have this kind of conversation with her in the first place, then you have some things to work on, my friend. Editing because I've received some feedback about my wording. I wrote this comment at 2 a.m. and didn't expect it to be very popular. I don't mean to come across as rude. This was a casual way of expressing things, but basically what I mean is to just sit down and communicate with her, which is what is missing here. Original poster. Story 3. If she is not joking, she is disrespecting you and making herself look available to other men. You can either tell her to correct this behavior or act differently, which might actually earn you respect. Assuming you do not want to leave her. Story 4. Laugh out loud. You are living on borrowed time. The only reason she has not left you is she has not found her next boyfriend yet. Sorry, brother. This red flag is too big. Story 5. If she is referring to you as a housemate, she has either cheated, cheats, or plans on cheating. No one is looking at the auto trader if they love their car. Story 6. Make her a live-out ex. Laugh out loud. She wouldn't accept that if it was the other way around. She has no respect, and you should kick her out to find another housemate. Story 7. A similar thing happened to me. I really got upset about it and thought long and hard about what I was going to do. My live-in girlfriend had been telling her ex-boyfriend that she and I were just friends and we slept in separate bedrooms. So, she and I were leaving the restaurant one evening, and he and his friend were walking in, and they said, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Great. I'm going home to be with her like I do every night." I looked at her, and I looked at him, and I waited for her to deny it, and she never did. She was furious, and he was enlightened. Story 8. I'd say sit her down and get to the real bottom of this. Then, after its inevitable end, start referring to her as a roommate and stop doing anything sexual or romantic. Then draw up a rental contract and have her sign it or face eviction. She should be confronted on her behavior, then either put out or become a tenant. Story 9. Start referring to her the same way when talking to girls, and you will see how quickly that switch flips. Unless she is talking to, say, the government or something, then there is no excuse for her not to refer to you as her boyfriend. That seems to me like she might be trying to keep her options open. I am not trying to make you jump to conclusions or anything. It is just what I take from it. I once dated a girl who was leaps and bounds out of my league, but she took me literally everywhere with her and always called me her boyfriend when introducing me to people. You deserve that level of respect. Story 10. You need to be careful here. You are likely considered common law married. If you have some cash, go talk to a professional for legal advice before blowing up the relationship. Story 11. If you're going to severely damage your relationship, make sure it's because you want to, and not because a bunch of random people on the internet told you to do it. What I will say is that, regardless of where this ends up going, you need to stand up for yourself. This is clearly something that bothers you, and joking about it like a teenager is going to get you nowhere. Stand up for yourself. Story 12. Holy crap. I hate being a bearer of bad news, but she doesn't seem to respect you. You're her mate, partner, and best friend. If none of those names occur to her in reference, you're likely wasting your time, man. Story 13. 6 years and you call her a girlfriend. 6 years and she calls you a housemate. Neither of those labels seem to have any sense of permanency on either part. I would communicate productively about what you both want for your own future and whether that includes each other and in what capacity. What were your expectations? What about hers? Story 14. My wife says, dump her ass. Yes, that's exactly how she told me to write it. She says clearly that if this is how she refers to you, she's just using you. This is my first instinct as well. Her friends, male or female, especially the male friends, should know exactly who and what you are to her. Calling you a housemate indicates to them that she is open and available. I'd sit her down and have a full conversation about this, and unless you get a very, very good explanation, I'd let her go. If she just says, I don't know, or insists it isn't a big deal, then just say it's over. Story 15. I've read a lot of poor quality erotica that starts this way. They usually end up with a group sex scene, a mother-in-law revenge sex scene, a best friend revenge sex scene, or an elaborate blackmail or sex servant 9-part series that pretty much makes me lose interest, so I can't tell you how it ends. Since you have a lot of good advice, I'll provide this really bad advice. You have to be involved with her mom, her best friend, or both. Story 16. I was in the same situation. I spent about 2 days just thinking about it. I changed my Facebook status to single and started talking to every woman she told me to stop texting. I considered us friends when talking to other people and stopped treating her like a girlfriend. She knew right away I had options and that she would be single at any moment. I ended the relationship anyway because it was obvious she didn't love me like she did at the beginning. If I were in your shoes, I would do the same. It's only 6 years of your life. Don't waste another day on her. Let her know. Story 17. This is coming from a 41-year-old male, and I fully acknowledge things with relationships are not the same in 2022. But why is she your girlfriend and not your wife? You have been at this for 6 years. Why not formalize that commitment with her? The ring on people's fingers is a sign of commitment that you are going to stick by each other through the good and bad, and you are reminded of it every morning you put that ring on. A boyfriend-girlfriend relationship does not signify this in our society, and normalcy slowly turns to relationship stagnation if you haven't formalized your commitment to each other today and in the future. At 6 years, if you haven't committed to each other in marriage or some other way, you basically have a long-term housemate. This may be hard to hear, but this may be her subtle way of telling you it is over or she wants more. Sit down and have an adult conversation about your future together. Story 18. There are really women coming here and giving the worst advice. Dude, bring a woman over and call her your housemate within earshot and see what she does. Story 19. I think you have let this relationship coast on too long. Why do you spend 6 years living with a girl? By now, you should have either made a commitment, such as marriage, or moved on and tried for something better. Story 20. You need to address this head-on. Ask her why she refers to you that way, and then tell her that you do not want to be addressed that way. Tell her how it makes you feel, and maybe tell her what the consequences will be if she continues to do so. I do not think this is grounds for an immediate breakup before at least talking to her about it and giving her a chance to improve first, but it also does not look good for her. Story 21. A book called No More Mr. Nice Guys would be a good read. You can download books for free online, but for your girlfriend, it is best to find another and not fix the relationship. Try to imagine if you were to marry her, how would your life look? Very happy and sweet happily ever after? Or could you already picture her cheating on you and ending up in divorce? Or maybe not cheat, but still belittle you and affect your mental health and confidence? A healthy relationship is where both parties love and respect each other and wouldn't do or say things that would hurt the significant other. Understandably, 6 years is a long time, but it's a sunk cost effect where you have already invested too much, making it difficult to let go. But if you don't let go, you would invest more into it and end up losing even more. Nevertheless, whether you decide to salvage the relationship or get another girlfriend in the future, you would still need to do the same thing, which is to work on yourself and improve yourself. When you have better finances and fitness, interesting hobbies and skills, you would automatically be more attractive and also more confident. Also, I kind of believe you are in a state where it is tough for you to accept, and you would need to talk about your situation and feelings and have some people listen to you, so it is definitely recommended that you talk to your friends. They would listen to you and support you. Story 22. Red flag. That's done intentionally. Live-in girlfriend. She clearly isn't the live-out girlfriend if housemate is how she refers to you around other guys. Sorry man, cut your losses and leave. Story 23. There is one motif that always helped me when talking to people in these kinds of situations. Please help me. I am suffering. Wrap your necessary one-on-one talk around this motif, as least passive-aggressive as possible. Story 24. Radical idea here. Maybe she's tired of waiting for you to propose. Seriously, you've been together for 6 years, and I'm assuming you've been living together for at least 3. What are you waiting for? Have you ever had the "where is this going" conversation? Has she ever mentioned starting a family? She may have lost her patience with you and has already written you out and is now looking for an exit plan. All these comments about her disrespecting you, what have you done to deserve her respect? You have not given her anything 100 other guys wouldn't give her, and now she wants something only one man will give her. If it's not too late. Story 25. I know 6 years is difficult to let go, but she's telling you she doesn't want you with her actions. You deserve better. That is unjustifiable in every aspect. Story 26. Just tell her, you always call me your housemate instead of your boyfriend to other guys. This has me thinking, I don't want a girlfriend or a housemate who won't respect me properly. Pack your things. You've got an hour. Story 27. Straight up ask or tell her what someone else already said. From now on, I will refer to you as my tenant when someone brings you up around me or about us. Okay. Don't be scared. Story 28. At the end of the day, if your relationship was perfect except for this, you would be asking her why she does this and saying it bothers you instead of asking Reddit what to do about it. The very fact you're asking us should tell you that there's even more that's not right about your relationship, because deep down, you already know that simply talking to her about it a long time ago was the right answer, but you're scared to do it because you're scared it would end the relationship. I've been here before, felt disrespected, and didn't know what to do about it because I was scared that talking to her would end the relationship. Is not being able to talk to your girlfriend really the right, perfect relationship for you? Deep down, you know the answer. It's time to finally stick up for yourself and put your own needs first. At the end of the day, you're the only one who will always be there for you. Story 29. Most relationship conflict comes down to unmet expectations. I don't know anything about your relationship, but this feels to me like an indirect, passive-aggressive response to an unmet expectation she has about you or the relationship. Maybe she expected, wanted, or hoped that you would have proposed to her by now. Maybe she feels that you are not being intentional, purposeful, or passionate anymore. Maybe she hasn't ever communicated the expectation to you. Maybe she did and you didn't listen. Maybe she doesn't even admit it to herself because it's something she wants but doesn't feel she deserves. But in her mind, the relationship has somehow devolved from boyfriend-girlfriend status to roommate status. You should ask her about it and be aware that she might or might not know why she feels that way. And if she doesn't know, couples therapy is a good way to find out, assuming this is a relationship you want to work on and improve. Story 30. Research the sunk cost fallacy. If you can read that without thinking, is that what I am doing? Then try to talk to her. If not, then bail and save yourself the absolute hell of having to end it after 10 years. Story 31. Could be her weird way of trying to make it obvious she wants more or wants to join on the mortgage. Don't criticize me for being stupid. I don't understand females as much as the rest of you. Story 32. I would just bring other girls and tell her about it. Hey, can you clear the room? I'm bringing this girl I want to be intimate with. Thanks. Also, your rent is due. If she asks what's going on, just tell her, I didn't think this was serious. I thought you were just my housemate that I am intimate with. Story 33. Confront her about it. Tell her that it's disgusting that she is chatting with other men and referring to you as a housemate, that she has no respect for you as a man. Accuse her of being unfaithful and betraying you. Call her some expletives. Burst into tears and storm out. I read this on that female dating subreddit. Apparently, this is how the professionals deal with low-value men. Story 34. After 6 years of being together, and she tells other guys you are her housemate, it's time to receive the rent, then evict her. She doesn't respect you or your relationship and acts like she's single when indeed she isn't. She's not the one. Don't waste your time. Send her on her way. Story 35. I find it funny how no one has suggested that it could be a big hint at wanting to take things to the next level. Does she feel led on that it's been 6 years and you're not engaged? Story 36. Man, we'd either really become housemates, also known as we really just be roommates, or if she was living off me and I'm paying bills, I'm putting her out the same moment I hear that. Story 37. You're asking Reddit before you ask her? The moment my fiancée ever called me her housemate, things would be hitting the fan. It baffles me the things people choose to keep to themselves.